y'all? It's your girl Selena coming at you, and today I'm going to talk about budgeting like a pro. Okay? But I was gonna come in with the YouTube thingy. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, without further ado, let's jump right into the video, okay? But seriously though, if you don't subscribe to my channel, please hit that subscribe button so I can continue doing videos like this and more, okay? So, I'm going to talk about simple budgeting, and I'm going to talk about extreme budgeting. Now, I just want to let you know that this is not a financial channel. This is just my experience, and I'm sharing it with you. Throughout this video, I might seem a little bit too excited about budgeting, but that's okay. I'm okay. And maybe you'll get excited about budgeting too. I don't know, maybe, hopefully, that's the hope, after you watch this video. Even if you don't get excited about it like how I'm excited about it, then, you know, you'll do it because it is helpful. So, I believe that the only person that should be in control of me is God. That's the only person that should be in control of me. God. He is the only one that should have control over my life. Money should not control me. My circumstances should not control me. Whatever is happening in the world should not control me. That is what I believe. That is why I think budgeting is so important. Because it makes you in control of your money and not the other way around. I keep it in my face. And not the other way around, which is the money controlling you and you trying to figure out where this coming from next. And no. So I'm going to talk about simple budgeting, which is the budgeting that you do when you're just starting, and extreme budgeting, the one I do because I just love budgeting and I like budgeting everything, and everything must budget. And if somebody should ask me about doing something, I'm going to be like, no, it's not in my budget, or okay, fine, I'll add it to my budget. Like, that is extreme budgeting, okay? So I'm going to start off with I'm going to start off with the best tools you can use to help with your budgeting, and then I'm going to go on to persons that you can follow and watch videos or read things about budgeting and finances. And then I'm going to go to how I do my budgeting. And, So, the first thing is tools you can use to do your budgeting. My favorite tool is Excel. You can put your formulas in. You can do your addition. You can do your subtraction. You can do your percentages. You can do everything that you need to do in Excel. You can have one Excel document, and I will try to add the link to an Excel document, a simple budget Excel document that I started with, in the description box. But you can use Excel for your budgeting. If you don't want to go the Excel route, you can use a simple calculator. Google Apps, I'm pretty sure Apple Store also has apps on it that you can do budgeting stuff on. So you just type in the search bar budgeting apps or money management apps or whatever, and it will give you like a lot of options as to what you can use to manage your money or to. And even though you are budgeting, you still have to look at your bank accounts to make sure that you are following up with your budget. You're not just doing it on paper and you're not actually carrying it out in your life. So what's helpful with that is make sure that you guys have online bank accounts. Like, listen, it is 2023. Everybody at this point, whether you're young or old, should have a online bank account. If you're in high school and your parents open a bank account for you, you should have access to an online bank account. You can simply log in from your house, from your phone, wherever, whatever you want to use. Just make sure that it's a safe network. You can log in, you can check your account. You can see how much money you have. You can do transfers. You can do, like, you don't need to be going to the ATM to see your balance. That is back then. Now 2023, you should have an online account. You should be able to access your accounts online. Okay, so those are the 3 things I think you should have when you are budgeting. Online account, Excel. Learn Excel. Learn it. Learn to put formulas in Excel and build your budget sheet from there. Or you can use a money management or budget planner app on your phone. Okay, the persons I use for my financial management and my financial help and to give me knowledge and learn about finances and stuff. 1, Another Money Coach. You have the Money Guys. I listen to them on Spotify, and you can go on their website, moneyguys.com, and they have a lot of resources about how much you need to save to get to this place, or you know what you need to put as priority at this age. Or they have a lot of stuff, a lot of resources on their website, and their podcast is so informative. Okay, so you can use those two people are who I use, and random people off YouTube that I believe give good advice. I wouldn't recommend them because they're not people I follow up with. But Another Money Coach and Money Guys, you need to go check them out if you are about finances and budgeting and all of those stuff. They're really helpful. So I'm going to go on now with simple budgeting. So the best advice I can give you for simple budgeting, and whatever advice I'm giving you, there are things that I do. I'm not saying you have to do it as I do it. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial coach. I am just sharing what I do with you. Okay? So the first thing you need to do with a simple budget is split up what you believe needs to be split up. There are 3 main things that your budget should consist of. It should be your needs, your wants, and your savings. You should always have savings. There is a book I read called The Richest Man in Babylon that said that you should always save 10% of whatever you're getting as income. Whether it's your parents give you lunch money and you just add it up, your parents normally give you $500 for lunch money, you times that by, by 7 or 5, depending on if they give you 5 days, or you get times that by 5 and then you times that by 4, so you know how much money you're actually getting per month from your parents, and you save 10% from that money. Yeah, trust me, your future self will thank you for it. It might be rough, but your future self will thank you for it, and your future self needs it more than you need it now. Okay, so 10% should always be saved from your income, whatever income you're getting. I don't know what happened. Anyways, you can do more than 10% for your savings. You can go up to 25% of your whatever income you're getting. Can do 30. You can do whatever amount, just do not go below 10%. 10% should always be saved and should never be touched. So once you save that, you don't go back to it, because if you for ice cream and your money done. Okay, it is saved for whatever plans you have for the future, whether it be to go to university or to buy a house or buy a car. Don't touch your 10% unless it's something that you wrote down as a future goal, a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal. Okay? And when I say savings, that's a very broad term, because your 10% savings could consist of your investments. Your 10% savings could consist of your emergency fund. Your 10% could just consist of saving. So when you have your 10% saving, you need to break down that 10% to see how you allocate. As I said, your 10% can be more than 10%. It can't be less. It can never be less than 10%. But you can break down your savings to either a regular savings or an emergency fund or a investment. But whatever you do, there should always be a percentage allocated to that broad heading of saving. The other one is your wants and your need. So your needs, of course, take priority after your savings. You always save first, okay? That's my opinion. Save first. Your needs come after your savings. So your needs, for me, I use the 50 25 25% rule, but it can vary. So your needs can be 50%. All in all, your wants, your needs, and your savings need to add up to 100. Okay. All right. So your needs, most times your needs is 50%. Don't go over 50% for your needs. You can actually. You can go over 50% for your needs. Like if you really need. It's just that your wants percentage is going to reduce. But living below your means is very important. If you don't know what living below your means is, it means that yes, you can afford to buy Starbucks every day, but you're not going to buy Starbucks every day because you have a goal for your future. So you're only gonna buy two Starbucks for the month. That's like a simplified example of living below your means. All right. So if your needs is 50%, that means you only have 25% left for your wants, and that is fine. That is completely fine because your needs should really consist of everything that you need to do. And so alright, so this is simple budgeting. So we're just breaking it down first. Needs, wants, savings. We break it down. 50% for your needs, 25% for your wants, 25% for your savings, or whatever percentages you want to use, as long as it adds up to 100%, and as long as your savings is not below 10%, you're fine. And I hope you guys have like a little notebook or something taking notes, because it's important to write stuff down so that you can always refer back to it instead of coming back to watch the video, which is fine. Like, come back to watch the video, that's okay, thanks. But like, write stuff down though, seriously. So we've broken down what your budget should look like. Your budget has been set. You have a certain percentage for each of these 3 categories. That is simple budgeting. What you need to do next now is ensure that it correlates to your bank accounts. Now, what I suggest is to have separate bank accounts for these things. So you have either you have 3 different bank accounts, or you have 3 different accounts or something, but the money is not all in one account where you have to keep double checking if this is using how it's supposed to use. If you have 3 different accounts for your savings, your wants, your needs, you will allocate each of these things to those categories. So let's say you get $30,000 for the month, and you want to allocate that in your wants, your needs, and your savings. You have 3 different accounts that you can separate that $30,000 into, instead of just having that $30,000 into one big account. Okay, you can have that $30,000 broken down into those 3 accounts. So whenever you want to go and use something, for instance your savings, you want to go and do your investment, you want to go do your emergency fund, you know what, let me leave that for last, because I want to talk about that more, but that's going to be an extreme budgeting. Okay, let's start with your wants. Let's say you have your 25% want from your $30,000 that you get per month allocated to one account. You know that when that money done from that one account, from that one card, when you check that account and you see that you only have $100 left from that account, you know, say, okay, my wants are done. That is it. Your needs is already in an account. You don't have to worry about how you're going to buy groceries, or how you're going to pay a bill, or how you're going to do what you need to do, because you did not touch your needs. You only used your wants, and you don't have to confuse them like, okay, is $2,000 for the wants, or is $2,000 for the needs? No, you don't need to do that if you have it in separate accounts. Okay, so using separate accounts is very helpful when you have these three categories. And when your wants done off of the card, that's it. You know, say your needs supposed to use and go grocery shopping. You carry that card with you when you're going grocery shopping, or when you're buying gas, or when you need to do it. And again, I just want to say, this is simple budgeting. This is simple budgeting. This is the simplest way I believe budgeting can be done, but it is still very, very helpful. Okay, so we're gonna go to one more tip for simple budgeting. After, probably at the end of the month, before you get your next pay, or your parents give you your lunch money again for the next month, or whatever is going on, or wherever if you get allowance or whatever, before you get that next amount, lump sum of money, do some self-reflection. Look back. And we're going again. Do some self-reflection. See what you spent on that month, that previous month, that you could do without. See how you did with your needs. See if you maintained your budget. See if you did well with your savings. See if you went back, if you backtracked with anything. Do some self-reflection so that for the month coming, you will do better. You will improve. Alright? So I'm just gonna move on to extreme budgeting now, which is what I love to do. I don't know, I have a problem. I love extreme budgeting because I believe that it allows me to keep track of everything. Like everything. Okay? So extreme budgeting is the same as simple budgeting with more. So you still break it down between your savings, your wants, and your needs, but you track. You don't just know the percentages. You don't just put your needs, wants, and savings in separate accounts. No, you track what you are spending. Before the month even starts, you allocate each and every dollar to what needs to be allocated to, so that when the month does start, you're not confused, or you're not running up and down and feeling like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So extreme budgeting is just seriously tracking what you're doing. It's the same method as a simple budgeting with having different accounts. It's just like you might have more accounts with extreme budgeting, because if you're doing grocery shopping, even though it's a need, and you're buying gas, even though it's a need, you don't have the grocery money and the gas money in the same account. You have your grocery money card and you have your gas money card, and that is pretty much it. It's just it breaks down simple budgeting way more, and it allows you to track it way better. So that is what extreme budgeting is. So when it comes down to savings, as I said before, yes, you might have a broad category of savings as 10% or 25%, but there are different things that fall beneath savings. You have emergency fund, you have your investments, you have your saving that you go to before your emergency fund, yeah, or whatever you're saving for. If it's a trip you're saving for, you have all of those under saving. You have different accounts for those savings, and you track it you track it a lot with those savings, and you allocate first to savings. So you know that you put $5,000 to investment, you put $2,000 to emergency fund. These are just like, I'm just throwing numbers out there, although it's under that broad category of saving. I will probably do a different video about saving as a broad category and break it down for you guys, and probably talk about saving in Jamaica, saving versus investment versus whatever. I'll do a different video about that. But what I know, I'm not a financial advisor. I gave you guys people that you could go listen to. Okay, this is not a financial channel. It's just based off my experience and what I read and what I learn and what I carry out in my personal life, and I just have fun with it. It gives me a sense of control of my money, and it doesn't have me baffling, you know, a week after payday, or baffling, you know, about how I'm going to eat or how I'm going to sleep or anything like that, you know, or about how 5 years might look. It doesn't have me baffling about that, because I don't let money control me. As I said, the only person that controls me is God. All right, so that is all I have for you guys today. I think this is a pretty long video already. I'll do a separate video for you guys to break down savings, and if saving alone can help you, and where to save. Should you save at a bank or a credit union? I'll do a different video on those stuff. Should you invest? When should you invest? Apps to use to help with those things, etc. So yeah, stay tuned. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.